Good afternoon, good evening to you all. Welcome to the Full 100. Today is Monday, the 19th of July, aka Freedom Day. And the surprise just got worse for many millions of people. Literally, guys, today's show is titled. This show was put together yesterday, Sunday, to address the unlock and whatnot. And my thinking of it all. And the show is titled As the UK Unlocks, Antivaxxers Beware. And the reason I say that is for months on political party Zoom platforms, I've been telling people that there will come a time when the UK and this government, this evil government, will reach a certain satisfaction that their people, the people they most care about, are catered for and they're vaccinated. And I kept repeating that anti-vaxxers, and especially the black community as a chunk, that we would almost like we were corralling ourselves for them. Almost like we were doing the corralling for them by bunching up together and not taking a vaccine. And I kept preaching that there will come a day, when this government's going to go, you know what, we've offered it to them, we've done everything we can do, we wash our hands, open up, let what happens. Those who want the vaccine, you'll get your booster. Those of you who are stubborn-headed, your time's here now. And I was really worried that day will come. And you know what, guys? That day is here. That day is here. Because there are still many millions who refuse to be vaccinated, but they think the government's doing them a favor. And that's what's scary, and that's what bothers me. They think, yay, we're free now. We don't have to wear masks. But in reality, they should be very, very worried. So guys, without further ado, let's get down to today's show. Let me just say this, breaking news. I prepared this show yesterday, and I caught some of Boris's press conference about the removing of restrictions, and something that no one saw coming. So much so, not even people in his political party saw it coming, and they're fuming. I definitely did not. So, basically, from the end of September, you can't go into a nightclub unless you're double vaxxed. When I heard that, I was like, oh shoot. How many people is that going to shoot in the foot? So basically, this thing was not expected. I'm double vaxxed, so I'm alright. But I'm just thinking, my raves will be empty. Most raves was going to be empty because I don't know, many of the ravers, right? Especially my genre of music, house music and that, many of them are anti-vaxxers. Many of them are anti-vaxxers. But listen, let me come back down to the real purpose of the show, because this double vax thing only came up on the news in the last hour. I didn't see that coming. So let me deal with the show itself, guys, right? So basically, like I said in the intro, I'm really worried that many people I love and care about are in the anti-vax side of things, right? And many of them will see this as freedom. Many of them will see this as we won. Now the government can't tell us, now the shops can't tell us nothing, and we're going to go party. I want to air a couple of videos before we go to the raving one, the nightclub situation. I had 2 videos to air. I want to air those videos and understand firstly that this unlock period, this removing of restrictions, it's only the anti-vaxxers who are going to die. It's like what the Americans call the turkey shoot. Where you corral turkeys into a little space and you can't miss. You basically can't miss. That's how I see this phase we're going into. And I'm not worried for those who are vaccinated or those who have had one and going back. or even those who haven't had it, and protect themselves diligently. But many of these anti-vaxxers, they don't wear masks. They don't believe in protecting themselves. They believe in just, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I'm going everywhere exposed. Those people, beware, because your lives are still precious. You might not think this is real. We do. We think this is real. We know it's real. And we know what's coming. And all we're doing is showing you some love and warning you to please don't get yourself corralled into a turkey shoot situation where the virus is just picking off people like yourselves. Please. This is a real heartfelt appeal that I'm warning people right now what's coming their way. Take a look at these couple of videos. Take a look at this first one. I'll see you on the other side.
As of midnight in England, nearly all legal restrictions on social contact have been removed. Face coverings are no longer required by law but are still recommended in crowded, enclosed spaces. Meanwhile, Scotland has moved to what's known as Level 0. Limits on social gatherings remain, with face covering still mandatory in shops and on public transport. In Northern Ireland, the latest phase of unlocking is expected next week. While in Wales, most COVID rules are to be scrapped from the 7th of August, though face coverings will still be required in many indoor public places. There is concern about restrictions easing at a time when COVID cases in the UK are rising.
Welcome back, guys. So that's the current status of the corona situation in England. Now, this video is the critical one. Please pay careful attention. And the sad thing is, you see this video and these statistics, you guys don't believe them. Take a look.
Can we just go back to, so you were saying that from what you're seeing, the people who are suffering this or going into hospital are people who haven't had vaccines. So the vaccine is making a difference.
It's making a huge difference. We still are seeing some people over the age of 50 up to 90 who the vaccine just can't help because they're older and the immune system doesn't protect them. That was always going to be the case. But as a proportion, they're far fewer now. And the majority of people are actually under the age of 50, down to about 20. Still hardly any children being affected, which is the one bit of silver lining on this cloud. But those that do come into hospital are suffering. About half of the people coming into hospital are suffering some form of insult.
How do you feel about some of the numbers involved in the modelling? The Health Secretary talking about potentially 100,000 cases a day, looking at some of the models saying there could be 200 deaths per day. Does that make you feel uncomfortable? Does that concern you? Is that near to what you estimate there might be?
But interestingly, the proportion is greatest in those under 50. So between 20 years old and 50 years old, we're seeing a lot more people coming into hospital. They're nearly all unvaccinated. And what's surprising is that although they're not dying, they are suffering quite a lot of injuries. So we're seeing a lot of kidney injuries and lung injuries.
Welcome back, guys. Please, guys. This channel has warned about it many times. And I personally have talked about this. And people have said to me, how do you know it's going to happen? Where do you get these statistics from? No. It's here now, guys. I want to finish on this last video, which was the shocking news. Can I say this? This nightclub stroke he pulled, Boris Johnson, is the most genius stuff this guy has done since he got in power. Forget the Brexit, he failed woefully. Forget the beginning of the pandemic and all of it. We know this stroke here, the guy's a G. That's all I can say. This is the most genius stroke that this government has pulled to make people have to show, not just show that you passed a vaccine test, because people like, yeah, go on. But actually that you've been double vaxxed by the 30th of September. I heard that and I was shocked. It nearly blew my head away because I didn't see that coming. The country did not see that coming. And it looks like they're going to move it. He's saying no pubs at the moment, but it looks like they might move into other things, other events type of things and stuff like that. But it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. Think about it. I'm black, so we got reggae, we got soul, we got house, garage. more or less, yeah, and R&B type. You go to a reggae rave right now. I can't see anyone in there who's been vaccinated unless they're nurses and stuff. So you got 200 people in a nightclub. You're going to have about 180 of them are not vaccinated and didn't care, never took a test, don't believe none of it. Why would I want to go stand in that club? Well, double vax I can, but if you're kind of thinking and believing that what you're seeing is what it is, then you won't want to be there. And if you go onto the white population, half of these guys that go to the pub are like, they're not trying to get vaccinated, they're not taking no test, they're only doing it to go on holiday. So to me, I say this move is the most genius move that Boris Johnson's government has implemented since he's been in power. So listen, anyway, here's a look at the video that we're talking. Here's a look at the announcement, and I'll see you on the other side to say my goodbyes.
So we weren't expecting this. This is new stuff today. So they've said today this is the first use, I think, of domestic vaccine passports in the UK. From the end of September in England, it'll be mandatory to show a double jab vaccine passport before getting into a nightclub. The Prime Minister there saying proof of a negative test will no longer be enough. And that's important because there's a sort of loophole in the system at the moment that even if you show a vaccine passport and you don't have to until the end of September, then you can take a lateral flow test and get in. The Prime Minister saying no, it's going to have to be 2 doses of a vaccine by then. And the big reason for that is he said today 35% of 18 to 30-year-olds have not had a single dose of the vaccine yet, despite being offered one. And that's what they're trying to stop, Jane. They're trying to get that younger age group, 18 to 30, signed up. And one obvious way to do that is to make vaccine passports mandatory for nightclubs, which is what we're going to see from the end of September.
Welcome back, guys. Wow. I mean, that was a shocker. That was a shocker. But I repeat what I said, and I stand by what I said. That was a genius move. It really was. It's only going to get the what did they say, the 20 to 50-year-olds to get vaccinated. But it's also going to get many of the over 50s who haven't. The staunch anti-vaxxers who have been itching to rave, now they can't rave after September. It's going to get them in through the door as well. And at the end of the day, it protects us all. It protects us all. Okay? That's the way I see it. And that's the fact of it, to be fair. Guys, have a fabulous week. Look after yourselves. Thank you to all my subscribers who subscribed massively in the last few days. Please give us your subscriptions if you like what we do, and I'll see you all soon. All the best. Bye-bye.